Well, thank you everybody for being here. We're excited. It's always a great time of the year, and weather certainly has cooperated with us in our preparation. Before we head out next week and jump on the road to Omaha. We got a lot of kids in this room that decided to come back and be a part of this program and this season specifically to finish some unfinished business and to get this school, this program, and this community to a different level in college baseball. Obviously we could talk about last year all we want, but we're moving forward, and there's a reason why everybody's back here in this room. Because we have high expectations. We have a team that's strength is depth, a team that's strength is on the mound, which is how you win in college baseball. I think we have a multi-dimensional offense, which gives us a lot of options and certainly ways to win. We're excited about our schedule. Has to be one of the top, most difficult schedules in college baseball, but until the RPI has changed, we'll continue to schedule that way. We'll take the brunt academically. Our kids in our program are tough enough to handle the strains academically that the committee has made us do. We have to travel midweek with the regional bias and the RPI. So we'll take on the academic strains, and we're tough enough to handle it. But it's at the forefront of what we're doing is putting our program in the best situation to play in the national tournament and get in that race to Omaha. So if we got to get on a plane midweek, then that's what we're going to do. But excited to do it with this group of kids. Couldn't be more excited about a season and what we have in our clubhouse and our ability to get our program to the next level.
Y'all are obviously you're nationally ranked, Pete. I was just curious, what other things are different about this team than other previous teams that you've had in your coaching career?
Well, we all came here for postseason rankings, right? It's nice for our kids to get the attention in our program, to get the attention finally at a national level. But it's the postseason rankings that we're most interested in. And the depth of our program really speaks to me, and in this league and at this level, you win games from the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning on, and you do that by making moves and matching up, and you can't do that without depth. And I'm excited about our depth. I'm excited the way how game plans are going to pan out for us, and so I would say that, D. Scott, the depth in our program and the depth on the mound is something that really sticks out to me as being an advantage for our program.
What do you feel like might be the biggest challenge for the team this season?
Being tough enough to handle the road, and being able to handle that midweek. And we all know it. It's not going to be a surprise for us, right? We have 11 exceptionally tough games, right? At Arizona State on a Tuesday, at Tennessee on a Tuesday, back-to-back Clemson that Wednesday, at UConn on a Tuesday, back-to-back at Northeastern on that Wednesday. It's difficult playing back-to-back midweek games, but even more challenging against super high RPI opponents. And we also played, to me, the two toughest venues other than Taunton on our schedule right now is at TCU and at West Virginia. So there's 11 games. So how we make out in those 11 games will determine where we end up at the end of the season. So that'll be our biggest challenge.
What's the routine like right now on a daily basis, and how excited are you to finally get things going?
It's prep, and I just want to be fundamentally sound. I want to be healthy. I think we're talented enough. But if you're not fundamentally sound and you're not healthy, talent doesn't mean anything. So we've remained our focus in those areas, and it's basic, fundamental baseball. Now we got to back off a little bit. I want guys' legs and bodies feeling good, next week, and we're kind of focused on that with lightening the load in the weight room, watching what we do at practice. But we've been really fortunate with the weather to prepare this team for next week.
Coach, you talk about the returners and the depth. Do you feel like this is the most talented team you've had in your time here?
Yeah, I think it's a really good team. You know, I loved last year's team. You know, it was a really good team. It's a national tournament team, and I'm just as high on this team. That's for sure. You know, I do think we just have more depth in the program that the team we had last year, and it was a great team. So I kind of stay away from superlatives, you know, but I'm confident enough not to back off saying that this team is good enough to play at the highest levels of college baseball this year.
How are you guys handling the expectations that come with like the preseason ranking and stuff like that?
We all came here for expectations, and you know, I'm not so sure the expectations were there earlier, but our kids have earned the right and commanded the right to have high preseason expectations, and we just need to sustain them.
Coach, you're one of 4 Big 12 teams ranked in the preseason top 25 by D1 Baseball. How would you assess the conference this year?
Again, I think it's, you know, one of the top conferences in college baseball. I think we're, you know, we should be a 16 bid, 6 to 17 bid. You know, with the additions of the new programs coming into the Big 12, it makes us that much more well-rounded. Again, there's not many weekends off, if any, in the Big 12. So you got to earn every single win in this conference. And that'll be the same for this year.
And then Tyson and Kalen are each in rankings for the next upcoming draft, top 70, I think, for each. How is it having 2 great talents on your team this year?
You know, you got guys that are getting a lot of attention right now, deservedly, for what they've accomplished and how they go about their business, but they've been productive baseball players for us. And anytime you have nationally renowned players, it speaks volume to your program, and they'll be the first 2 guys to tell you that doesn't happen without their teammates around them and the success of our program. But yeah, it's great being around high prospect players that still put Kansas State and winning ahead of anything else they do.
Coach, where's your key position battles right now?
You just drum up some controversy, huh, Mitch? Position battles are what healthy, successful programs have, right? It means you have depth. You know, we got a good battle going on for the number 2 catching position, the DH spot, the right field spot. You know, we got some guys that can play some different positions: corner, outfield, first base, DH. And then we also have enough depth where we can match up righty-lefty if that's the route we want to go. But there's about 5 or 6 guys there fighting right now, and you know, when you get an opportunity to play, you got to play good, because that's where our program's at right now. And but it's good for me, you know, because I do know I have that depth, and I do know that one injury is not going to set us back like it has in the past. I think we got enough talent for a guy to step in and replace and be productive.
Specifically, where are you looking right now, names-wise, at third base, Kalen now at shortstop?
If we play tonight, Daniel Rivera will play third base, KC will play short, Brady Day will play second, David Bishop will be at first, Cayenne Lotus will be out there and right. We got a battle for the DH spot. We don't stop evaluating. Things could change. Jaden Lomliner has been outstanding since day one this fall. Nick English is a freshman who showed up on campus and has not stopped hitting, you know. So, you know, Mason Schwalbach, he's a heralded junior college player, has prolific numbers, big lefty power bat. You know, there's different pieces of the puzzle. I could see us playing 3 different lineups the first 3 games. You know, to me, that's exciting, and it promotes competitiveness in your program on a daily basis, which, if I'm worried about that right now, we're in trouble. We got the right guys who compete. They're never not gonna put their team first, and when they get on the field, they have to be productive. That's the level we're at. It's result-oriented level.
Can we go to players? All right. I want to start with Brady. You got drafted. You decided to come back. What led to that decision?
I think first would be just the culture we have here at K-State. I think, everyone's very team-oriented. Everyone, the coaching staff, the players, it's just a great atmosphere to be around. That was probably my biggest reason about coming back. And also I felt like there was some things I could work on and I wanted to work on here in college before going on to pro ball.
Kind of the same thing for Chuck, but now you're a Wildcat moving here from Wichita State, leading to the decision to come to K-State. What attracted you to the Cats?
I came up here on my visit and instantly I kind of knew. I'd always heard great things about this program. One of my good friends was Nick Goodwin, and so he always talked very highly about Coach Hughes and the staff and everything. And so they were one of the first ones to reach out, and I was very happy that they were, because they were definitely number one on my list. So, but I kind of knew that just this place is awesome. It's a great atmosphere. Fans are great. Coaching staff is great, and all the players are great too. So, just felt like a family.
Kalen, got to represent the United States not too long ago, and now you're going to be a shortstop. I want to ask you about moving to shortstop and also what you learned from that experience.
Yeah, so Team USA was a great experience for me. I played against a lot of, great players around the country. Played against a lot of different play styles with, Team Japan and Taiwan and Chinese Taipei. But I've always been a shortstop, so moving to short won't be that much different for me. It's where I feel, much more comfortable at. So and plus it's where I can see myself helping the team the most. So I'm going to enjoy it.
Okay, and then I'll ask one more question, but it's for all the pitchers. Kind of the same question. Ty Tyson, great improvement last year. Owen, you came in last year and really shined. I just want to know from all three of you, from left to right, your right to left, just this off season, what you've done to improve and how you feel like you will improve this upcoming season.
For me, just kind of working on pitch shapes like spin efficiency and stuff of that sort, and just making my pitches more effective, and also refining command. Say command, not control. Like control is throwing strikes, command is throwing strikes where you want to throw strikes. So just kind of executing those pitches and trying to set the team up for success.
Last year I was more of a long reliever. Ended the year with 2 starts. This year I've just been working on 1 day a week, getting ready for that day and just getting my body right to be able to go 5, 6, 7 innings, and kind of switched up some pitches to tailor how I pitch, and just getting ready for the season. I'm excited.
For me, the biggest thing is just another year spent coming from a D3 program, just another year spent with the strength and conditioning staff here, the athletic training staff, working with guys like Ty and Tyson, just getting better every day. Just the amount of resources that they have here has just allowed me to improve pretty much every facet of my game.
The good questions, but Owen, you by the way, congratulations. D1 Baseball just named you one of the top 50 pitchers going into this season today. You mentioned some of the stuff that you're going to have to work on. I would ask you about Rudy and Darryl, pitching coach. Mm-hmm. Just what do you like about that relationship with him? What does he do well, and what has clicked for you working with him?
I feel like first and foremost, he's great at communicating with all the pitchers, not even on a baseball level, but just getting to know you as a person first. And I think that allows him to influence us on a deeper level. And I think there's a lot of buy-in from the pitchers. And then second, his energy. He has endless energy, and it's just infectious. Every day he tells us, the pitching staff is going to be the heartbeat of this team. He says it enough, we'll start to believe it. So,
this question is for Tyson. Obviously, in this world that we live in, NIL and all that sort of stuff, I'm sure there were opportunities that came your way, and it's the unspoken part of this college sports that we live in. What led you to stay with K-State and not only chase not a pro ball dream, which will be coming, but stay here at Kansas State and for 3 years as one of the top pitchers in the country?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a complete buy-in by our program. I mean, they've kind of bought into me since day one. Had an atrocious freshman season, to be honest, and I know a lot of times in this world of baseball, it's real easy to kind of cut somebody and let them walk away. That struggles, especially as a freshman, and it was like complete buy-in. It was, hey, we're gonna figure out how to help you succeed, and went both ways. I mean, I wanted to succeed just as bad as everyone else wanted me to, and just the culture here at K-State's unmatched. I mean, just hearing from stories around the country at other programs, like there's guys that barely have conversations with their head coach, and like I feel like as a staff and as a team, like we know each other on the deepest of levels. So just feeling comfortable here and knowing also we're the underdog, and we kind of own that mentality and love that mentality. Go out there and like Coach says, put us on the map, be a national program, and that's been my goal and our team's goal since day one, and plan to carry that out.
And my last question is for Pete. Coach, what did you want to get out of your off-season program? Did you want to get faster, get stronger, all the above? Was there a particular goal in mind with these guys as they lifted and went through their out-of-season conditioning?
I really liked where we were at last year. We were one of 3 programs in the country to steal over 100 bases, hit over 75-plus home runs, and have over 300 walks. I mean, so I thought that formula was pretty successful, and it allowed you to have success on days when the home run didn't show up, and you can beat someone with your legs. And I just didn't want to stray from that. So that factors into your recruiting and the people you bring in. Look, Chuck was so appealing to us because he can hit the home run, he can steal bases, and he's done it his whole career, and you get on the field for us if you can get on base via the hit or the walk, drive up pitch counts, steal a base, or hit a home run. So that's our everyday philosophy, and we work at all 3 of those facets every day. I do think that's the recipe to win. It just gives you so many more options. So I love our pitching staff, and Rudy is right, that is the heartbeat of our team. And we just got so many different pieces to the puzzle where we can match up, and matchups are so key to winning at this level and winning in this league at a consistent basis, and depth, which I did not think we had last year.
I lied, I have one more question. Casey, could you talk a little bit about Austin Waits as a hitting coach and what he's meant to this program and your development?
Yeah, Austin, he's been great for us. He works with all of the hitters. He knows what we need. He knows our strength, our weaknesses. For me, we've been working on a lot of things. Like for me, gaining more power and gaining separation in my swing. So it's just a lot of things that go into like him knowing like what to do and things like that. So he's always with us every day at practice. So he's always watching. Coach always mentions he's always evaluating. So and that's true. He's always evaluating. He's always watching, and he knows what we need and what works for us best.
Pete, when I say Tyson Neighbors, what do you think about?
Loyal kid. To come back with what was out there, he never strays from, bleeding purple. No one wants to win. Well, there's a lot of kids, but no one wants to win for this program more than Tyson. And he's driven to get better. He's a student of the game, almost to an annoying level, right? But he is always looking for an edge to get better, and he has done that since I've coached him. And that's usually the key to a baseball player that has a long, successful career. You keep making adjustments. You take the criticism and you use it to benefit you. You're able to look at yourself and look where you need to get better, but then you need to adjust because people are going to start adjusting to him. But he's always ahead of the curve right now. You know, he went from being a one-pitch guy to a two-pitch guy to a five-pitch guy. And, you know, people always say, how come you don't start Tyson? Because I like to watch Tyson pitch 3 times a week, you know. And it's always the age-old question, do you start him, do you close him? You know, but you might not get to the end of the game to use him, right? So his repertoire right now is good enough to start when you have 4 to 5 really good pitches. And but that doesn't happen if you're hungry and greedy to be great at this sport and to expand your skill set.
Ty, knowing when Tyson takes the mound, what goes through your head?
The game's over. That's about it. He's our dog tied up in the bullpen. I can't wait to give him the rock if I'm on the mound. Like at Texas, when I saw him running in his big meaty body, big boy, I loved it. I loved it because I knew it was over. He's a stopper. He's gonna come in, give you all you got for how long you leave him out there, and the whole team has 100% faith in him to close the game for us.
Same thing, Owen?
That's all that needs to be said.
And Pete, when I say KC, what comes to mind?
Worker, team first guy, disciplined, hungry to learn, phenomenally talented, and again, loyal as it gets to this program, but just super talented with a ceiling that's hasn't even been tapped, and he'll get to it because his work ethic is as good as his skill set.
Chuck, I know you talked about how K-State was at the top of your list. Since you've been here, what's been your favorite part about K-State?
I just think probably how accepting everyone was, you know. There was just a level of respect that I had right away, right when I got in the program. It just felt like I'd known these guys for all 4 years of college when I came in, and especially with the coaches. Like, first time we all hung out for the first time, KC came up to me and shook my hand and was like, I'm so glad to have you here. So just stuff like that, just really accepting of having me here.
Has anyone in particular taken you under their wing since you've been here?
I'd say everyone, honestly. Every single person's been great, so yeah.
For Tyson and Casey, there's in recent years at K-State, there's been a lot of star athletes who have left their mark. Cooper Beebe, Ayoka Lee, just plenty of Marquise Noel. Is there any motivation to be on that level with them?
I mean, I think always. I mean, I don't like to set kind of a ceiling or like a role model type thing. I'm trying to be who I am, and I think I mean it's always best to strive to be the best and leave kind of your mark on the program. And I think going back to that other question, that's kind of a thing that me and Casey thought about. We stay here when we do what we do, we're known here forever. If we go somewhere else, get lost in the mix, being great, make your mark on the program.
Yeah, I mean, piggyback on what he said, I got comfortable with being here. I kind of want to, make my own mark here. If I went anywhere else, that was never on my mind. But I feel like I wouldn't have that same mindset as I do here. And I mean, being in a category or in the same sentence as those guys you mentioned, it's great and all. But like Tyson said, I would like to leave my own mark and have my own identity.
Brady, with the decision to come back, Coach talked about it. Do you feel like there's almost some unfinished business after last year?
Yeah, definitely. I think, everyone wanted a postseason run. We just wanted the chance to be in the postseason and see what we could do. We felt like we were kind of cut a little short. So definitely played a factor, a lot of guys coming back that didn't have to come back. And it just speaks a lot to the program and the culture that we have, and just looking to go further than we did last year.
Yeah, Coach, you talked about your off-season goals. Just wondered how successful did you feel like you were in in meeting those so far?
For this year?
Yeah.
Well, we have a high standard, you know. It's just we're here to be the best in college baseball. But as far as our preparation and are we on time with our preparation and where I've had this team to be right now, I would say absolutely. You wish you could be a little bit healthier, you know, but for the most part, I like where we are on the mound. I love our offense. I love our depth, and we've been able to get outside and take advantage of that weather opportunity and play baseball. And that's the only way to get good at this game really is to play games, and we've been able to do that. So we should hit the ground running. You know, we know what's ahead of us. We're not going to be surprised by anything. It's spoken about every day, and you know we'll be ready to go next week.
And one or two areas where you feel like you made the biggest strides?
Just pitching depth, really, and overall depth. I know we lost some firepower, you know, with Pena and Goody graduating, but I think we've added that through the portal, and we're going to add that through the talents of our coaching staff. You know, Coach Waits these guys make jumps, they get better every year, you know, and those numbers will be made up. I just think we have a lot of options athletically. I think we can hit those numbers that make for a great offense again. I certainly think we're capable of doing that, and that's a well-rounded, athletic, physical offense.